Today I lost my best friend, so I'm going to take this from when I woke up today. I woke up and stayed in bed. I heard a really weird noise and then I looked through my window. Ambulance helicopter flew over my apartment and landed on the beach right down my apartment. That got me wondering what has happened. So I got dressed and went down to the beach. It was full of ambulance paramedics and policemen. It was a police boat in the water with people who had scuba gear on, and they dived down and brought up a man. This was like 150 yards out in the sea. They brought the man to land and started doing CPR on him, and then I saw who it was. It was my best friend. I just stood there frozen. I couldn't believe it was him. The people who was there told me he had a heart attack in the water. A policeman came up to me and asked if I knew him, and I said that was my best friend. They told me to get in their car, so I did. They brought me to the hospital. I just got home and now I'm in bed. I'm sad and don't know what to do. This is real. So, I met this guy on November 26th on YouTube. He said hi. He asked me if I wanted to chat, and then I did. He gave me a link to a video. Said video was unlisted and I didn't know why. I clicked the link, and it took me to Hangouts, more specifically, a group. However, it wasn't like any other chat room. He invited people to become his contacts. I was next, so I went through my invites, found him, and clicked on it. After that, we chatted. He asked me to do him a favor, but what was the favor? He told me to make a video of me doing my business in the bathroom. I was like, you WTF, that's gross, but he said don't say you. It's because I'm bored. Then I agreed. I did what he wanted me to do. I sent it to him and he was like, do you look so cute in the bathroom. I was uncomfortable, but it was my first time chatting. Since then, we chatted a lot. He banned me, but we made up. Then February 28 came in. I sent him what he wanted, but my dad came in with his face looking like a stalker. He asked me, who are you talking to? And I said I was just doing my homework, and he got out. But he came back and asked me the same thing in a more condescending tone. I was like, no one. But my dad needed to see. I tried to not let him look, but I failed. He saw the entire chat. After that, he whooped my ass, and I got grounded for who knows how long. A few days, months, and 1 year later, he came back to me. He said, let's continue doing sexy stuff. And I said, brah, I'm too young to do this kinds of SHT, man. A few messages later, I said, you know what? I've had enough. You're disgusting. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna block you. And I blocked him. A few days later, I felt kinda pissed. I opened MS Paint, wrote a letter, and I shared it with a few people except him. Long story short, I chatted with this guy, got grounded, realized he was a pedophile, and wrote a letter I didn't send to him. My own mother hasn't said a word to me on Father's Day, but has posted how proud of my sister's husband she is and wished him a happy Father's Day. Not going to lie, it really hurts my feelings. I made a mistake when I was 16 and got a girl pregnant. When I was 17 my son was born, and when I was 18 his mom left us. I'm 32 now and have had sole custody of him since she left. This happens with pretty much every holiday. I honestly don't mind not getting presents on Christmas or my birthday, even though they do. What really gets me is my mom praising someone else for being an amazing father, when for 14 years I've been struggling and doing it on my own. Not a single good job or happy Father's Day. Maybe I'm just being too sensitive. All I know is that it sucks when the one person you want to support you, doesn't. I stole my neighbor's Wi-Fi for years, because I was too cheap to pay my bills. So this happened 5 years ago. I had just gotten my internet bill, Comcast, and it was risen by $20. When I called and asked for an explanation, I wasn't given a clear explanation. Later that day when I walked past my neighbor's window, which was almost completely opened, I took a brief peek into their living room, and there it was. A router with a piece of paper taped to it. I looked around and then took my phone out and zoomed in, snapped a pic and then left. I tried that password on a list of usernames until it worked. I used her internet for 3 years and managed to save up a few $1,000s. It was always paid on time and I never mentioned this to anyone until now. My boyfriend did something. I'd been recently looking at treadmills that are apartment friendly for a while. I had finally found one that I liked and my boyfriend agreed to buy it as an anniversary gift. The morning after it arrived I decided to test it out and do a mile in it, but with bare feet since I didn't have proper running shoes. I told him I'd test it out and that it was a really good purchase. I was extremely happy and was looking forward to using it more despite not having running shoes. The next morning after he got off work from his 15-hour shift, 5 p.m. to 8 a.m., he drove down to Target to get some missing ingredients that I needed for cooking. He did this while I was sleeping. I woke up after hearing him come back from the store and he told me he'd bought some stuff. I went over to check and to my surprise he'd gotten me a pair of really cute running sneakers, plus some Starbucks. While he was at Target, along with leaving a long note on the fridge, I'd never had someone display such actions of affection, so I was beyond moved. I'm truly grateful to have him in my life. Peas. I ended up running 4.1 miles that day. Shoes were super comfy. That is a really weird fact that makes people say, why do you know that? Clostridium botulinum is a bacteria that, when an animal or human gets infected with it, can paralyze the entire body. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does, sometimes it's very fast. Sometimes it take multiple years. Infections are mainly through food and is lethal in about 5% of cases. If left unattended the lethality is quite high, especially because it can cause the airways to stop functioning. It acts by blocking nerve functions by binding itself to the neuromuscular junctions of your nerves. It doesn't destroy them like with other illnesses, so after treatment, or after the bacteria has vanished, I'm not 100% sure that can happen though. The paralysis will go away. Although it can take up to a year before that happens, you have no natural resistance against it, and after you have gotten it, you can just get it again.